You're probably spending way more money on flights than you need to, and this is what airlines want. If you've ever felt like travel is just way too expensive or out of reach, it's not your fault. The truth is there are hidden strategies that can make flights way more affordable, and most people don't know about them. I've flown to over 30 countries and probably taken hundreds, if not thousands of flights over the last 2 decades because traveling literally sets my soul on fire and I want to do more of it. But I also know that I need to be smart about it and not spend a fortune. In this video, I'm sharing 7 powerful travel flight hacks that will help you find cheaper flights and make it way more affordable to travel more often and get you your dream trip for way less. And trust me, hack number 7 will save you way more than you ever imagined, so make sure you watch all the way through so that you know all these hacks plus the best one at the end. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Cheap flight hack number 1 is to mix and match different legs of your flight with different airlines. Here's what I mean. Let's say you want to go from Dallas to Tokyo in October, but the prices, as you can see, are coming out to be over $1,300, and this is way too expensive. Instead, try flying out from LA to Tokyo instead, and you can see that it's significantly cheaper. And then you can get a cheap flight from Dallas to LA. Which leads me into flight hack number 2, which is to use gateway cities to fly out of, especially if you are traveling abroad. What do I mean by this? Gateway cities are major international hubs in the US with high air traffic, meaning they have more flights, more airlines, more routes, and are able to thus offer cheaper flights, especially for international travel. These gateway cities serve as a primary point of entry and exit for international flights due to their large airports, major airline hubs, and strong competition. Now, flights are usually cheaper, much cheaper from gateway cities because of the high competition. And there's more competition because of the increased routes and airlines in that hub. For example, a flight from New York to Paris might cost only $400, whereas that same flight from Raleigh, North Carolina to Paris will be $800. Now, if you're flying from a smaller city somewhere in the US, you might have a connecting flight through a gateway city anyway. So instead of just booking that whole bundle, try to see if it works out cheaper if you just book the direct flight from the gateway city to your destination. So again, for example, let's say you're trying to go to Paris from the US, try to look up how much flights are from New York to Paris instead of wherever else you're flying out of, and see if then you can get a cheaper domestic flight from your city to New York. And usually this will work out actually a lot cheaper. Now, if you're trying to go to Europe, try looking up flights from New York, Boston, and Washington, D.C. These are all physically located on the East Coast, so it makes sense that they are the hubs and cheaper to Europe. If you're trying to go to Asia, your gateway cities are going to be Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Seattle, because again, these cities are physically located on the West Coast, so it makes sense for them to be the gateway cities into Asia. Okay, now let's get into some of the tools. So secret flight hack number 3 is to use Google Flights to find the cheapest flight and the best option for you. Now, chances are when you want to look up a flight, you go directly to an airline's website and you put in your dates and your origin and your destination, and you see the prices for your flights there. Now, honestly, this isn't wrong or bad, but it is inefficient, because if you're trying to compare prices, now you have to go to all the other airlines' websites and basically do the same thing over and over again. So this is a big waste of time, and you have to manually record all of the prices and compare them. And honestly, sometimes airlines don't even show you the cheapest flights, like basic economy tickets. They don't even show those on their airline websites. And they also don't give you as many options to see flexible dates or filter for different things. Instead, head on over to Google Flights, enter in your start and destination cities and your dates. And as you can see, you have so much more flexibility here. You can even see the cheapest dates to go on with this calendar that automatically pops up. And now when you hit search, you can see not just one airline's flights, but all airlines operating that route along with their prices, making it really easy to compare and find the best and cheapest flight for you. Also, I do want to add that Google Flights is just a search tool, not a booking tool. So use Google Flights to research research and look up the best flight options, the routes, the prices for you. Go to that airline's direct website to actually book and confirm your flight. Again, Google is for the research and the looking up and comparing, and then go to the airline website to actually book the flight. Hack number 4, we are still using Google Flights, but we're gonna take it up a notch. We're taking it a step further to save even more money. In Google Flights, you can use this thing called Date Grid, and this will actually let you see the cheapest dates to fly to your destination on. So if you have any flexibility with your travel dates at all, this tool is gonna be key for you, and it's gonna save you a ton of money. For example, this calendar pops up of all the departure and return flights as well as their prices. So this will allow you to see what the best combination of dates to fly on are, so you can get the cheapest flight. And the awesome thing is you can scroll out months in advance with this thing, so you can really see what the best dates to fly out and in on are. Again, saving you even more money. Secret flight hack number 5, we're just gonna keep building off of Google Flights because it is such a powerful tool to find cheap flights. Google Flights has this other feature called Explore. Say you want to take a direct flight from New York to Athens in the month of July for summer vacation, but that flight is coming out to be way too expensive. So what you can do through Google Flights is go to the Explore tab, enter in New York as your starting location, and then enter in the continent of Europe as your destination, and then your dates and layover options. This will now show you a map with the flight routes and prices from New York to different places in Europe. Now you can do one of two things. You can either say, okay, actually this location, let's say Paris, is actually much cheaper, so I'm just gonna go ahead and switch my vacation to here instead. Or you can use Paris as a gateway city into Europe. So remember when I just talked about gateway cities in the US being like New York, Boston, Washington, DC? So the destination locations like Europe, the continent of Europe, also has gateway cities, entry and exit points, Paris being one of them. So you can say that, okay, I'm going to use Paris as a gateway location. And what you can do now is book a budget airline flight ticket from Paris to Athens. You guys can get flights through Ryanair or EasyJet for sometimes 30 euros or cheaper, and then plus baggage. I know, you guys, I know these airlines get really bad reviews online or by people or whatever, but I am telling you, I have flown them so much, okay? I used Ryanair and EasyJet when I was a college student backpacking through Europe, but I also use them now that I travel with my family, okay? And yes, they do nickel and dime you for things, but it still ends up working out much cheaper than if you were to fly with some of the bigger, larger, well-known carriers. So it really ends up saving you hundreds of dollars, especially if you're flying with multiple people or you're going with your family. It's going to be a huge cost savings. And I can honestly say, like, knock on wood, I've never had any issues with them. It's always been a smooth flight. And the flights are usually only like 45 minutes to maybe like 3 hours long max. So it's not even that long. So just suck it up and do it. Save a few $100. It's really not that bad. If you're getting any value at all from this video, it would really mean a lot to me if you went ahead and hit that red subscribe button. This way you'll be notified anytime I upload similar videos. Hack number 6 is to use an AI powered tool like OneAir. OneAir is a website, an app that utilizes artificial intelligence to scan and track millions of fares in real time, offering users significant savings in flight and hotels and activities. OneAir does have a free package as well as paid subscriptions if you're really serious about travel and you want to do a lot of it. But even just the free option here is great. Signing up for an AI-based tool like this can be really helpful in alerting you with real-time deals, which will save you hundreds and thousands on flights. So if that's something you're interested in, you can definitely do that. And again, even just the free version is enough. I'd say use the paid version if you're really looking for the business class tickets and if you're flying a lot. Cheap flight hack number 7. This is a big one. One of the best ways to get cheap and even free flights is to use credit card points. Many travel credit cards offer welcome bonuses where you can earn 50,000 points or more after signing up for the credit card and meeting certain spend criteria. You can then use these points to redeem free flights and free hotels. And just to give you an idea, Virgin Atlantic was selling business class tickets to Europe for 25,000 points just a few months ago. So if you're getting 50,000 points for the welcome up bonus, just imagine what you can do with that, right? So if you use your credit card wisely and your credit card points wisely, you can get some of these awesome travel experiences for free. Now, if you have absolutely no idea which travel credit card to get, or how you can even begin to do any of this, then don't worry at all, because that's exactly what I go over in this video right here. I go over the best travel credit cards in 2025. So I highly suggest you check that out next, and I will catch you in the next video.